Now let's see how batch render is creating the materials and automatically assigning the maps to those materials. Let's see an example with this object material matching. So let's open Blender with our new cool way of opening Blender. And let's import that FBX. Now, as you can see here, we have two objects. This object has two materials and this one has one. If we come to the textures, we will see that we have this right here. So let's see how this is working. For this object, we have a material called Cube1. If I come here to the textures, you will see that I have a bunch of maps here that have Cube1 in their name. And this is the important part. If you want a certain map to be matched to a material, it needs to have the material name in its map name, right? So these maps are going to be matched or assigned to the Cube1 material because they have Cube1 in their name. And the same is going to happen for Cube2 and for green section. So these two materials. Another important thing is how you name the maps, right? So you have here a base color that has the name of div. You have a height map that has the name of height, metallic, normal, roughness, and so on. If you go to the documentation, the written documentation that is in the description, if you go down, you will see the different terms for the different types of maps. So if you want a file to be treated as a base color, you just need to include either diffuse, div, albedo, base, color, or base color in the name of that map. And the same goes for metallic, roughness, normal map, height, and emissive. Now let's go back to our dirt material and let's check our textures here. Now this object, the high-res sphere, has a material called matte, alright? And that is why it is going to automatically assign these maps to that material. But what will happen if you didn't have this? So we don't have the name of the material in the maps, meaning that batch render will not be able to link the maps to the material. Now you can come here and go by one, adding the material name, but that is kind of painful and time consuming. So I have included a little tool that can help you with this. Now let's navigate to the textures folder, simply by cd, which stands for change directory, textures. And there we have. Now you can call this tool by typing batch rename.py -s in this case, and let's put the name of our material and an underscore. Alright, and as you can see, that has modified the name of all the objects in this folder and added matte to the start of those maps. Now this is going to work for all the objects on your current folder, so be careful with this. In the case that you weren't careful and you mess up the naming of all the files in a folder, you can simply call batch rename.py -rs, which stands for remove suffix matte underscore, and it's going to delete that. Now if you want to append at the end of a name, just use P for postfix, and I'm going to switch the slash, the underscore of place, and there it is at the end. And if you want to remove it, choose RP for remove postfix. And there we go. So I'm going to restore this to the original usable state with batch rename.py matte, and that should work. Now in case you have multiple materials, you might need to create temporal folders, alright? So let's say you have one material and another one here, and you need a different suffix for each one. just create a temporal folder, move everything there, and operate in each subfolder.